Mr. Levasseur is originally from the town of Saint-Anne-des-Monts in Quebec. He has been a member of the Levasseur Association for several years.
You know, we all know about the kind of art that hangs in the big, famous museums, but what about the other stuff? The art that's made by regular people, self-taught creators in small towns and villages. Well, today we're going to dive into the incredible story of one man, Adrien Levasseur, whose personal obsession with this often ignored art ended up saving a huge piece of a nation's soul.
Listen to how one critic described the art we're talking about. It's beautiful, it's surprising, it's marginal, and above all, it's touching. I mean, that just sets the stage perfectly, doesn't it? We're not just talking about objects here. We're talking about something deeply human, something a little on the fringes, but with this incredible power to really move you. This is the world of Quebec's folk art. And right at the heart of this world is our guy, Adrien Levasseur. And his journey wasn't just about collecting a few things. No, it was a full-on quest, driven by this powerful, almost obsessive love for heritage. So what is this art that he was so fired up about? It's called art populaire, or folk art. Basically, it's art of the people. It's made by folks who never went to art school. In Quebec, they have this great word for them, gosseux. And they use whatever they can get their hands on, everyday stuff, repurposed materials, to create these amazing pieces that show you what their life and traditions are all about.
Now here's the part that gets me. Levasseur's whole quest, it started after he retired from a 35-year career as a social worker. For most people, that's when you slow down. But for him, it was the start of a whole second life's work, a mission that would take him all over Quebec for decades, hunting for these hidden gems.
This journalist just hit the nail on the head. She called him a patrimoniac. It's this perfect mashup of the French word for heritage, patrimoine, and, well, maniac. And that's exactly what he was. Because he wasn't just grabbing sculptures, he was collecting the stories behind them, the lives of the people who poured their hearts into this work.
And this really gets to the core of his quest and his collection. It's all about the artists themselves, who he saw as something truly special.
Yeah. See, he didn't just call them folk artists or amateurs. He had his own name for them. The fabricants du bonheur, the makers of happiness. That one little phrase tells you everything you need to know about his incredible respect for them. He saw the pure joy in what they were creating.
So let's talk about the sheer scale of this quest. First off, the time he put in. We're talking more than 35 years of his life, driving through the back roads and small towns of Quebec, just searching. And over that time, it's not like he just found a few interesting pieces. No way. He identified and collected art from 180 different artists. He basically uncovered this entire hidden community of creators that nobody was paying attention to.
Which all led to this, a personal collection of 1,136 sculptures. Just think about that. He built what was essentially a private museum, one sculpture, one story at a time, fueled by nothing but passion. It's just staggering.
But you know, for a guy like Levasseur, just having all these amazing pieces wasn't the end of the road. He pretty quickly realized that if he didn't do more, this whole beautiful art form could just disappear from the history books.
He went looking for books about art populaire, to learn more. And he found next to nothing. The history just hadn't been written. So what did he do? He decided, fine, I'll write it myself. He literally shifted from being a collector to being a historian, just to make sure these makers of happiness got the credit they deserved.
And when he started writing, he didn't stop. Just look at this timeline. Between 2008 and 2022, he pumped out 6 major books. He started by documenting the sculptors, then he wrote about how their art fits into the landscape. He even wrote a tribute to one of the pioneers of the whole movement. The man literally wrote the book on this subject 6 times.
Okay, so he's built a collection, he's written the history, what's next? Well, now Levasseur puts on a new hat. He becomes a tireless ambassador, absolutely determined to drag this art out of the shadows and show it to the world. And I mean, he did everything. He was curating exhibitions, crisscrossing the province giving lectures, you'd see him pop up on TV shows, he was even organizing events for the sculptors themselves. He became the guy, the go-to expert for university students, for TV producers. He was the living, breathing connection to this art form.
And you have to wonder, did all this work actually pay off? Oh, absolutely. Take a look at this. His very first big exhibition back in 2008, it pulled in nearly 5,000 visitors in just 2 months. That's all the proof you need that people were hungry for this kind of authentic, joyful art. It just needed someone like him to introduce it to them.
So this all builds to the final, and honestly, maybe the most important part of his entire quest, turning his personal passion project into a permanent, recognized part of Quebec's national heritage.
And boy, did he succeed. In 2014, he gets officially recognized by the National Assembly of Quebec for his work. Huge. Then in 2018, he gets this art into one of the province's most prestigious museums. And the finishing touch? In 2019, he co-founds a permanent home for it. He didn't just preserve it, he secured its future.
In one of his books, Levasseur wrote this one simple phrase that just perfectly sums up his entire life's work. Récupérer pour montrer au suivant. It means to recover in order to show the next generation. That was it. That was the whole mission. It was never just about him. It was always about making sure this heritage was passed on.
And that really leaves us with a fascinating question, doesn't it? Adrien Levasseur saw this incredible value in something that most people were just walking right past. It makes you wonder, what beautiful, surprising, and touching art is hiding in plain sight in our own communities, just waiting for its own patrimoniac to come along and share it with the world?